is Asher. I'm 17 years old. I go to St. John's Anglican Church in Johnsonville, Wellington. How I end up here? So I go to a youth group, obviously, and I was just going about my business, and they were like, "Oh, would you like to become a leader? Would you like to go to a camp?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" So yeah, I'm now here.
Yeah, I'm Jacob. I'm also 17 and go to St. John's. It's kind of a similar story, I guess. I was going to youth group, and the leaders clearly noticed something in me and asked if I wanted to go to the camp and further my relationship with Jesus.
Well, this is actually our 4th year here, so yeah. What brought me back was I think just I really found this like a really positive and welcoming space to grow my relationship with God, which was really cool.
Yeah, I find it's a really close environment where everyone kind of has the same goal to kind of grow in their relationship with Jesus, and we all work together to help each other achieve that goal.
Wow. I think this is quite a common question, but it's still my biggest question is why do bad things happen? I think if God is so good, so great, why does He let like cancer kill like thousands of people every year? So I think that's definitely my biggest question.
Yeah, that is quite an interesting question. I think I'm also kind of interested in like life after death and stuff. Like where do we go when we die? What happens? Yeah.
I think for me, my biggest highlight is just hanging out with everyone and developing relationships across the camp. I think it's really cool because you come and at the start of the camp you don't really know anyone, and by the end of the camp you're like real tight with everyone. It's just like a big family to me. It's cool.
Yeah, I've actually quite enjoyed the service projects that we do most years, where we help out at the campsite we're currently at. I just find it's really good to be doing something practical and helping the campsite that's putting like the camp on for us. And it's also just a really good time to work and grow relationships with the other people at the camp.
I think for me the biggest thing was learning how God was like a servant as well, because I think often people see Jesus as like, whoa, Jesus walks across water, but you kind of forget that serving to Him was a big part of being a Christian. And I think that a lot of people miss that they think that God's kind of up the front all the time, but actually God's also leading from the back and serving as well, which is a big part of being a Christian.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing I've learned is that God can use anyone for to further His kingdom. We've all got different talents and sets of skills, but no matter where we are in life, God always has a use for us or has something we can do.
One word, wow. Probably confronting. I think before this camp I kind of just went about my faith, and I didn't really realise what it means to really be a Christian and to follow Jesus. So it's quite confronting.
I think if there was one word I had to use, it would be relationships. Just the relationships we form with God and with our peers and with our leaders. And it really just, it all comes back to you and helps to further your journey with God.
Well, at the end of camp they give us like a booklet to take away, and we go back to our churches and we meet up with a mentor once a week generally, and we go through that booklet, and that helps to develop our character throughout the year until next Exodus Prime.
Yeah, I find Exodus Prime quite a good thing to start the year with, to center my thoughts back on God and to get prepared for the year ahead. And then often when we go back to our churches, we'll have lots of new ideas for stuff we could do.
Yeah, I did definitely come to another camp like this, and my advice to someone who wants to join in but isn't quite sure is to just do it, because things that are good for you aren't always going to be easy, and I think you just got to tackle it, and you will really benefit from camps like this. My relationship with God has grown exponentially chance and this opportunity. So yeah, I just say, just do it.
Yeah, I think camp's been a super positive experience for me, and I've always looked forward to coming to camp. I think I'd just tell people to take a leap of faith and just come along for 1 year. The leaders and everyone here are super welcoming, and it's definitely worth coming along.
I'm Bella. I'm Mia. We're both in year 11. This is our second year at Exodus Prime. And we both are from the same church, which is St. John's in Johnsonville, Wellington. Yeah.
Our youth group took attention on us and nominated us to come here, so now we are. Yeah.
Since it's the second year, we come back, so for me, I really enjoyed like some of the last days when we did some more like prayer circles in our small groups, and I found that really entertaining and like entertaining. I don't know if that's the right word, but it was like eye-opening, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it to be like really helpful in my journey as a Christian and as a leader.
For me, the Bible is really hard to read. It's like there's just a lot of words, and it's really complicated to get your head. But if you get your head into the like setting that it is in, and you understand most of the messages that are coming through, if you listen to God while you're reading, then it actually makes sense. And I don't really have any questions like other than that. Like, why is it complicated to read it at first?
I don't have many questions about the Bible itself, but sometimes I wonder what it would be like if Jesus was still here today, in like modern times, how people would interact with him.
My highlight, probably, there's lots of like funny little friend argument type things over just random things. I really enjoy the people, and that's probably one of my highlights. I really enjoy hanging out with all of these people that I wouldn't normally see on a day-to-day basis.
I've really enjoyed all the activities and stuff. It's been really fun. I've learned that he works in many miraculous ways, and that you can talk to people through pictures and stuff.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. Yeah, I guess I've learned that like God is present even in like tough times, even if it doesn't really feel like it. He's always there, and he's always listening. And like, if you want to talk to him, you can.
Helpful.
I'm gonna say eye-opening, just because. Well, it's one word if you have to live living. This camp so far, there's been talks, and I think my favorite talk was just the one that we just had, which is the characters of a Christian leader. And I found that like really helpful for me because it made me realize that even if you are a leader, you still have to be a servant for God, which is really cool.
I've really enjoyed the like small group times and the devotions. It's been really good. On our first year here, we were given like a little booklet that we can take back to our mentors, and it's really helped me, and not only helped shape my leadership skills, but also really helped my understanding of God.
Yeah, I found those little booklets really helpful for me. I took them back to my mentor and we went through them, and it was like actually a lot better to reflect afterwards as well, even though you're reflecting in like on what you're taught directly after them, it's better to do it like as well a second time later, which is really nice. Definitely come again. I would do this so many times over if I could. Even though we're only allowed technically 4 years, I'm still going to come.
Yeah, I think it'd be really fun to say something to someone who wants to come. I think, yeah, definitely come. It's really fun, it's really cool. You learn so much. You get so many more skills like leadership and stuff. So yeah.
My name is Jacob. I ended up on Exodus Prime because my church invited me. One of my biggest questions is how to be in a better relationship with him and like know him better. I learned that you can actually talk to God, and he sometimes will send you images and like stuff to pray about. Felt more connected instead of him being like far away. Felt more close. I'll definitely come again, and I would say that it really secures your faith, and it's when you get to communicate and be around other Christians, which is really great.
Hello, I'm Shay. I've been a part of Exodus Prime for 8 years, and I came because at the end of 2015, I had started leading at my intermediate youth group at my church, and they had nominated me to come along. My best highlight is from the first camp I went to. I had always experienced God, but God's presence was always just there and out there, but not actually close and personal and interacting with me. But on my first camp on the final night, I put it all out there on the line and truly sought God, and He met me face to face, and nothing has ever topped it since. I have studied and learned a lot about God elsewhere, but the one thing Exodus Prime has helped me realize about God is how willing He is to be active in our lives. As long as we are actually there pursuing God and wanting to do His will, He will actually show up as long as you pursue it. If I had to describe this camp in one word, I would describe it as discipleship with the full meaning of the word behind it. The best part of this camp so far has been watching a bunch of new year ones come in and start to really test out their faith and start to push and see where the boundaries actually are. Exodus Prime has been a large foundation in my spiritual journey, having mentors that nicely and gently correct certain ways of thinking that weren't actually helpful, but also showing me a good path to take and a good way to follow God in a realistic way in what we are living in today. I am actually a missionary kid, so I've spent a lot of time outside of New Zealand, and I returned right after Christmas in 2014. But my first interaction was being nominated to go on Exodus Prime, and it was only after I'd finished high school and I had a little more time on my hands was I able to start leading in some of the southern camps. But I've always, unless COVID got in the way, was able to come to Exodus Prime and have been so overjoyed to be a part of the Sons family. The one thing I value the most about Sons, now that I'm a leader and I get to see behind the scenes every now and then, is genuinely how much all the staff care and how much all the leaders truly want to follow God and help others follow God as well. It is sometimes a rare sight to see in this world, and Sons is truly a breath of fresh air. I will always, as long as I'm able, come back to Exodus Prime as long as they'll have me. And if I was to say to anyone thinking of coming but not quite sure, if you truly want to meet God and start a lifelong discipleship journey with Him, there are no other places that I would recommend starting than here.